Are we live yet? Okay, showing live on YouTube and live on Faceplant. Okay. Okay, and the audio visualizer is, man, I haven't seen it work like that since I installed it. I wonder why all of a sudden it's working. Man, look at that. I said look at it. Never mind. You wouldn't know what you're looking at anyway, idiot. From the WDWL TV multiplex, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of the station. The grumpy old man, me, and who are you again? Oh, the grumpy vulture. You want to take a bow? You usually take a bow? Okay. Who am I? Take a bow. Kind of crappy bow, but back in your spotlight. Get this out of the way. And hey, Kathy, how are ya? You know, I've had that audio visualizer up there. I don't know, I haven't done a damn thing with it. It was like a flat line forever, and now all of a sudden, it's audio visualizing. Interesting. Something new every day. I guess it was supposed to be like that from day one. I don't know why. I'm glad it's working. As a matter of fact, I don't know why it's white in color either. It was green yesterday. How's the little one? Well, maybe not so little. I forget, what is she, 11? That's not little. Little would be 5, 6. 11 is one of them, preteens. Yeah, the preteen years. Yeah, it hasn't been like that. Yesterday it was green and it hardly did anything. I didn't do anything with it whatsoever. I turned it on today and I noticed it was white, and I was like, screw it, I don't want to mess with it. And it's working like a audio visualizer should work. So I guess tomorrow we'll change color, because the white kind of sucks. Oh, I bet she's happy. I bet she's excited. I bet she's excited. And depending where the surgery is, to show off the surgery scar. Although if it's in a spot that shouldn't be shown, I hope she isn't going to show it off. I know how kids were in grade school. If they got stitches, oh, they couldn't wait to show them off. Look at me, I got stitches. Oh, oh, oh. Have, has she, no, can't show them off. Okay. Well, maybe she could show them off to her girlfriends. She could show them off to her BFFs. She's not going to be showing them off in class at show and tell. Oh, that's right. You did tell me she glued shut. Well, there ain't much to show off then. Because when they glue you shut, you hardly see it. I know when they did my fusion, they did it over here, and you hardly could see it. And now you can't see it. Same thing with my last hernia. The only time I can see it is like if I shine a real bright flashlight on it. Otherwise, when they glue you, it like disappears, which is good because I got a railroad track on the other side of my abdomen for all them staples. And it's amazing. I had that done in 87. And that one was nasty. Oh. Yeah, the 87, yeah, 87 for the first one. I can't remember what year for the second one. I like to do things in pairs, 2 hernia surgeries, 2 carpal tunnels, 2 cataract surgeries, 1 fusion, thank God. It was interesting. The day I had my fusion surgery, the doctor did 3. He did, the first one was a C4, C5. I was a C5, C6, and the guy behind me was a C4, C5, C6, C7. Holy shit. That's not an area where you want to screw up. God damn. Oh, hey, for something like that, no problem. That is not something you want, a diagnosis you want to screw up. Jesus Christ. Somebody could have ended up going through fucking chemo for nothing. God damn. Unfucking real. somebody was in a goddamn hurry when they did the examination there. In a hurry and not paying attention to their work. See, that, oh, Jesus Christ. You know, it's bad enough if it's something external. To make that boo-boo on an internal organ? Holy shit. See, that's why, and it pisses every goddamn doctor and lab and when I have something done, I want a copy of it because I have a friend who is about a 28-year surgical nurse, and I show her all my CTs, MRIs, whatever I get done, just for a second opinion. Although over the years I've learned to read a lot of medical shit. Are you talking the little one? Are you talking the little one? Oh my God. Oh, now I can see why you went ballistic. Oh, poor kid. Jesus Christ. At 11 years old, she's going through that shit. Wow. Oh my God. Hey, Wyatt, how you doing? Kathy and I are just chatting here. Jesus. Well, yeah, all right, I could understand that. Yeah, I could see that. Because a lot of time, pediatric cases, they bring in more specialists. So I could see that. Glad to hear it, Wyatt. Sucks to get old, I'll tell you what. Well, Kathy, you tell her that she's got some crab ass old man pulling for her on this end. I'll be thinking a lot about her. Man, I know the shit that I went through at my age, let alone to be at 11. Oh my God. Poor kid. But it sounds like she's a hell of a fighter. Hey, anytime you got to buzz out like that, yeah, I mean, you didn't have to come back. Man, I would have been off the wall. You know, Wyatt, I've never ordered anything from Wayfair. I've never even paid attention to their website, and I don't know why. I'm a big I'm a big internet orderer. Well, Kathy, I could understand why she's chomping on the bit to get on the move again. Good for her. Tell her she got some crab ass old man in Cleveland that'll be thinking about her. Hey Wyatt, does Wayfair, are they something like maybe Amazon? They carry all kinds of shit. I have never gone on their site. Yeah, we were talking about her granddaughter having a lot of medical problems from being a little kid. She's 11 years old and going through shit like you and I are going through at our age. I want to know when she hits her first home run. I'll be cheering on this end. You can see Wyatt. Evidently, he blocked you on his end. We can see you, Wyatt. Kathy said she sees you. Yeah, the poor little thing just had surgery, but she's going back to school Thursday. She's chomping at the bit to go back to school and start warming up for her softball team. Very, very athletic kid. Boy, talking about ordering online, am I pissed at fucking FedEx? My package died in Indianapolis on Wednesday afternoon. No problem. We'll be here. Yeah, my package left City of Industry, California, and made its way like lightning to Indianapolis and then died there. It was supposed to be here, Saturday. Then it wasn't here. It said Sunday, and it didn't show up. It didn't show up today. And they're not even giving me an estimate of delivery now. I think it got lost in the Indianapolis facility. My weed whacker. I don't know, it died there Wednesday afternoon. It said arrived at like 2:59 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, and it hasn't fucking moved since. Like I say, the estimate of delivery was Saturday. Then they said Sunday. I go in on the website today. I'm not even getting an estimate of delivery. I don't know when it'll be here now. And you go in the goddamn chat session and you get those fucking stupid AI. You can't get a live person. I could have called, but calling FedEx is a pain in the ass. Now, one time I did have a package that UPS kind of screwed up. And I'll tell you what, they were right on it. They were like, oh, gee, it's, I can't remember where it was, where it got lost. Cincinnati. And they told me, we guarantee you'll have it in the morning. And I did. But FedEx, they're a pain in the ass. Like I say, it left City of Industry, California on Monday morning at like 7:01 a.m. last week. And it hit 2 or 3 terminals, and then it hit Indianapolis and died right there. And they can't use inclement weather. Hopefully it'll be here tomorrow. Although, now, it's going to rain, or there's a threat of rain all week. So my weeds will be 3 foot tall by the time I get to try this thing out. I want to go out in the yard and have some fun with it. Because it's got a big saw blade. And it's got a wheel kit. So you can put the wheels on it and I went out today, I put the sealer on the windshield on my shitbox. You know, Kathy, I tell more people. And like if I order something from eBay, they have that block for special instructions. I always say, do not ship FedEx. But there's some outfits that have exclusive contracts with FedEx. I hate them. Oh my God, I've never had good service. I take that back. Up until the little pixie bought the route for my delivery area. Now she is good. She always makes sure the package is back by the side door. I can't fault her because you can't deliver what you don't have. I guarantee once it's on her truck, there'll be no problem. The problem is getting it here. Here's a perfect example, okay? I ordered 2 items off of eBay. One right after another. Both of them came out of City of Industry, California. One came UPS, one was FedEx. UPS was here in 3 days. FedEx, 7. I ordered a pack, one item like at 2 o'clock and the other item at 2:15. And they both shipped out, like one shipped out, UPS shipped out like at 4 p.m. and the other one shipped out at 4:30. So, but I always put in the box the special instruction: do not ship FedEx. Matter of fact, FedEx was the one that lost my police laptop. I told you that story. The guy replaced it, for free. Matter of fact, I got to email him one day and see if they ever settled up with him, because they lost it somewhere. I think it was stolen. Because I told him, because he said, I'll send you another one. I said, don't. Send it FedEx. He's like, well, UPS is on the other side of town. I said, then charge me. Charge me $10 for gas, $15 for gas. I don't care. I don't want a package shipped again by FedEx. He shipped it UPS. I had it in 2 days. That's another reason I'm crossing my fingers I can work a deal on the Passat. Because I have out of a police car, a mounting assembly for my police computer. I could mount it in the front seat of the Passat. I've already got big plans for that car. God, I hope I get it. Instead of putting all my roof lights on it, I'm going to make it an undercover car. Man, if I got the equipment to make that thing an undercover car too. For fun. Yeah, I took my roll of flex tape out today and sealed the windshield, hopefully, on the shit box. I'm tired of getting rain in my lap. There's a goddamn rust hole. It's got to be underneath the windshield molding. So I bought that 4-inch flex tape and I went right across the top of the roof and the windshield. So hopefully it works. I'm tired of driving and having to put a plastic bag across my lap, because it drips right down. right in the middle of the steering wheel, it comes down. Uh, when it says in the instructions that once you set it in place, it's there. It's there. It's not like putting tape down and going, oops, I got to move it. Nope. Once that shit hits, it's there. I I'll tell you what. That's another item as seen on TV that works. Any of those anything flex product, I've used the spray paint, the clear flex spray to seal shit up. I love that stuff. It's like I say. Now, I don't know if I would build a boat with it and go out like that guy does in the lake, but it works. Any of those Flex Seal products, they work. I love the stuff. Matter of fact, the bathroom in this house has the old plastic tile. Remember the plastic tile? It was big back in the 50s and 60s, the plastic tile. I took my whole shower and I sprayed the shit out of it with the clear Flex Seal, and the water just runs right down off of it. The first time I used it, Kathy, I had a pipe leaking in the basement. I wrapped that shit around. It it's probably still good. The house up the street from me, the one I lived in before, and it held. Everybody tell me, oh, that shit you see on TV, what are you wasting your money for? I said, well, you don't know if the shit works until you try it. And I was sold on it after that. I used the tape, I used the seal, I used the paste. I'm trying to think. I think that's all they make. The paint, the tape, and the paste. The mini saw, there was another item. And I have 3 skillets. Those, what are they, Silverstone? It's the gray pan Silverstone, I think. I'm pretty sure Silverstone. Non-stick. They work. But you have to follow the instructions. They tell you the first time before you cook in that pan, you bring it up to medium temperature, you wipe the whole pan with oil, you You put it back on the stove until it comes back up to medium temperature. You take it off the stove, wipe that pan out, it'll never stick again. And I love to crack an egg in it, spin the egg around. Because I've had friends that have bought them and they go like, oh, they don't work. My food sticks. I said, did you condition the pan like this instruction said? What do you mean condition the pan? Well, there you go. You took the pan out of the box and put it on the stove and tried to cook in it. I bought a lot of products that I've seen on TV. Some crap, some good. But you don't know until you buy it. No, I'm not going to buy no $100 item. I tried the Flex tape and the Flex Seal paint. Boy, is that shit got expensive. The last time I bought a can of the spray, it was $8 and change. Now, $14.95 for the same can. I'm like, holy shit. Getting to the point you can't afford to Flex Seal your house. Let me turn the fan on. Getting a little toasty in here. I can't wait to put the fan up in my bedroom. I've got it's a 5-blade 52-incher with a built-in LED light. And it's remote controlled. Oh. Just what I need, another goddamn remote on the nightstand. Yeah, I was reading the instructions today. I was like, oh, jeez. It's going to be a pain in the ass to install, but I can't wait till I get it up there. Then if it gets a little warm in the bedroom, I don't even have to get out of bed to turn the fan on or off. I got it on sale at the Homeless Depot. It was regularly $139.99 on sale for $69.99. Half price. Unfortunately, I had to take it in black. That's why it was on sale. Nobody wanted a fucking black fan. I don't care. It's a fan. Because there's a lot of times I don't need to use the window air conditioner. I would just rather use a ceiling fan. Oh, yeah. I come across it by accident. I really didn't want a 52. But for the price, and being remote controlled, even better. The only thing I don't care for is these built-in LED lights. Because if they go haywire, you're going to buy a whole fucking light fixture for the fan. It's not like you put a bulb in. So for the price, I couldn't argue. I really, like I say, they had white. I'm not too big on white. They had one that was like mahogany. No. Like a light oak. Sold out. White sold out. Sold out. Black. I was like, well, won't show the dirt. Oh. It's going to be a pain in the ass to install, though. The way the goddamn blades attach. The light fixture has to go on the fan before you put the blades on. So it's going to be a pain in the ass working over the light fixture to screw the fucking blades on. But for the price, no problem. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Shrink doctor. I'm looking forward to seeing him. Just to get the impression on the t-shirt I'm going to wear. I'm going to wear the one that says, I don't need. How's it? Yeah, I don't need anger management. I need people to stop pissing me off. That's the one I'm wearing tomorrow. I was going to wear It's Mr. Asshole to You, but I figure I'll break him in slowly. Hey, look who's here. Yeah, did you hear the shirt that I'm going to wear to my shrink tomorrow? I have that one. I have one that says, It's Mr. Asshole to You. I also have one that says, I'm the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. And then, oh God, I got to think, what's the wording on it? The more people I meet, the more I understand serial killers. I'll wait a while before I wear that one. Yeah, I got a shitload of insulting shirts to wear to my shrink. Good thing he's got a sense of humor, I hope. I'm trying to think the shirt that I wore the first visit. Oh no, the serial killer one's got to wait for a while. I wanna see the look on his face. I wear the one that's, I don't need anger management. I just need people to stop pissing me off. They probably won't. I won't even get past check-in. They'll be giving me a gown. Cover that shirt up. Why? Yeah, Temu had it on clearance. I didn't pay more than $5. I refuse to pay an expensive price for a t-shirt. You know, when you go on Temu's clearance and you put in, I think I put in the search bar sarcastic t-shirts. God damn, there must be 5,000 of them. You can get an insulting t-shirt for everything on earth. Matter of fact, I've got one I'm going to wear to my oncologist. It said chemo would be more fun if cancer screamed while you were killing it. And I ordered probably, Christ, I think I ordered 10 different t-shirts off of them. And none of them, I didn't pay over $5 a shirt. A couple of them I got for like $2. And they were local, so I got them even faster. Yeah, especially like, you go in like Target, Pennies, and a goddamn t-shirt is like $10 for a t-shirt. As a matter of fact, J.C. Penney is closing 10 more stores. I read it the other day. They'll be gone soon. More than 10? The article I read said 10. Although, you know what's... Big Lots is making a comeback. The company that bought them out is going to start reopening stores. The only thing that pisses me off is I haven't seen if they're going to open the one at 150th. Yeah, I read a news article Friday or Saturday. The company that bought out Big Lots is going to start reopening stores. And it pissed me off because that Big Lots at 150th and Lorraine, I never even went in it. Then they closed it. Although I drove by the other day, I see we have a Five Below up there now. I kind of like that store. Your son was working there? Yeah, they closed that goddamn... What was it open? 2 years? I know it wasn't long. Then the day I decided to go in, it said closed. But they're going to start reopening. I hope they reopen that store. They said they're going to try to reopen all the stores they closed. So, yeah, whatever corporation bought them out, they said they're going to reopen the store. So I hope they reopen that one. Sucks that he lost his job. Well, see, that's part of the problem around here. That's like the Goodwill that was down at 136 Lorraine. They closed it because of the theft. And then they wonder why stores don't want to come in and rent. Well, if it's a theft area, I can imagine what the theft rate is over at Burlington. Yeah, it's sad. Goddamn. That's like, goddamn Walmart finally woke up and realized by doing 90 self checkout registers in a store, the theft was unbelievable. Now they're going to start bringing back cashiers. I refuse to do self checkout because for every self checkout, it's at least two people that don't have a job. Most of the time, three. That's like at Aldi's up at 150th and Lorraine. I'll stand in line behind people that have 200 items in their shopping cart with my little 5-item basket just to keep that cashier working. Oh, the one day, the girl grabbed me. She says, come on over. There's nobody at the self-checkout. I said, I don't use self-checkout. Well, don't you know how? I said, well, yeah, I don't use it. I said, now, if you want to check me out in the self-checkout, I'll go over there. But I'm not checking myself out. You're not paying me to check out. I told her, I said, at the rate it's going, people that walk in the store, you're going to hand them a case of merchandise and say, put this away before you shop. She just looked at me like, what? Yeah, it's going to get to that. Oh, you want to shop at Homeless Depot? Here, put this merchandise away in aisle 10. When you got it put away, then you can shop. And then after you put that merchandise up, then you can check yourself out. Not. I don't do self-checkout. Yeah, it only took Walmart like 5 years to realize how many millions of dollars they were losing in theft at self-checkouts. Good old skip scanners. So, they finally admitted, after losing millions, we're bringing back cashiers. Yeah, that's like the goddamn Walmart down at Stolen Yard Commons. You got 14 self-checkout registers and one cashier. I hate Stolen Yard Commons. Good. Of all places for them to build a goddamn shopping plaza. I'm trying to think what was the store over on 65th Street? Was it Walmart or Kmart? I used to like going down there. I think it was Kmart. They were showing some videos of skip scanners. And this one guy had 5 pair of jeans. And he scrunched them together real tight. And he scanned 1 pair. And then right away put them in the bag. Oh, yeah, me too, Sherry. That Kmart up on 150th. It was amazing how much of my money they got. I love that store up there. I felt sorry for all the employees I knew that lost their jobs. But see, part of the problem was Kmart got too big too fast. That's part of the problem with these goddamn outfits. They get too big too fast. Build, 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 build. You know, they should follow the way Harbor Freight has done business over the years. They study areas to see if it would be feasible to put a store in a certain area, not just build one. I worked there, Sherry. It was my first job in high school. I was a cashier in the shoe department. Well, cashier slash shoe fitter. Oh, yeah, Kathy, that's how the guy got caught. Because the handle broke on the cheap ass plastic bag. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Sherry, most of my goddamn paycheck went to buying Craftsman tools because of the employee discount. And then every night before I went home from work, I stopped down and got me a Frosty Freeze. That's where Wendy's got the idea for their Frosties. Because every Sears had a Frosty Freeze. And growing up, Dave Thomas had a Frosty Freeze. Well, yeah, that was, you had to watch. You didn't get buzz bombed. But yeah, I worked in the men's shoe department. Oh, the supervisor I had was like Miss McGillicuddy from the Little Rascals. Oh, was she a nasty bitch. She would drum into your head, the customer is always right. You never argue with a customer. I remember one day I said something. She thought I was arguing with a customer. She hit me on the back of the fucking head with a shoe. She come up behind me, whack. I was like, holy fuck. Don't argue with a customer. You got to remember back in the day, employers could do that. Oh, yeah, she beamed me on the side of the head with a goddamn shoe from across the room. She was good. That old lady had a name. Trying to think what the hell her name was. Started with a T. Trellis, something like that. Oh, she was a bitch. But she thought I was arguing with a customer and threw a fucking shoe across the shoe department and got me in the back of the head. Matter of fact, the customer ducked. He's like, what the hell was that? Then she come up and reprimanded me right in front of the customer. No, she was an old German bitch. Because she had a goddamn German accent. Trellis, Trachis, something. Started with a TR. I never really paid much attention. I just called her bitch. Not to her face. Oh, Kathy. She had to be like 12, 15 feet away. Wing me in the back of the head with that shoe. She had a name and an arm. Took me off the sales floor, took me into the back office and bitched me out. Didn't even give me an ice pack for my head. And what made it worse, after she beamed me in the head, she grabbed me by the ear and dragged me into the back office. I thought she was going to rip that fucker off. Oh, God, what a bitch she was. I swore she worked for Hitler. Came right out of a goddamn concentration camp. Jesus Christ, that woman was mean. Yeah, after she beat me with that shoe, come in the back office, grab me by the fucking ear, drag me. Try doing that today. You get sued, fired. God, an employee, a manager even looks the wrong way at an employee, they could sue him. Not back in the goddamn 60s. What she didn't know was the customer was hard of hearing. So I raised my voice. She thought I was arguing. And she didn't fucking believe me. She never talked to the customer. I'm trying to tell the guy about the shoes that he was looking at buying. And next thing you know, I get hit in the back of the head with one. And then get my ear torn off. Oh, she was, oh, God. I kept begging to get transferred. Please, anywhere. I'll even work in women's lingerie, please. Oh, what a bitch. All the customers wondered where the shoe came from. And then I turned around and looked, and there she is standing at the other side of the shoe department with a box in her hand with one shoe in it. Oh, definitely Hitler's wife. That goddamn deep German accent she had. Yeah, customers are standing around like, where did that shoe come from? I looked in her direction. She had a shoebox, one shoe in it. The other shoe hit me in the back of the head and was laying on the floor by the cash register. Then, in front of all the customers, grabbed me by the fucking ear and dragged me into the back room. But back in the day, employers could get away with that shit. There was no such thing as HR. Oh, Sherry, I got an interesting story. I wish I could remember the nurse's name at Lakewood. She was hitting on me. Okay? What I didn't know was the reason she was hitting on me is because her and her husband were at wit's end. Well, when I started to return the favor, her and her husband made up. So she turned me into HR and said I was sexually harassing her. And I got immediately sent home. You'll have a hearing in a week. I had to write up a statement. And then finally, after I was off for 7 days and sat down in HR with a hearing, she admitted. So I said, fine. You owe me a week's worth of fucking pay. Yeah. Immediately. Got called in, go home. For what? Well, Miss Hoity Toity said you're harassing her. I said, what? She even told my supervisor in the cafeteria we were going to get engaged. And then he denied it. I never heard that. You think he'd defend me, the asshole dickhead? I never heard her say that. I said, gee, it's strange. It was her and me and you. There was nobody else around. Oh, talk about lapse of memory. Yeah, we're going together. We're going to get engaged. She's hanging on my arm. Then 2 weeks later, her and her husband make up. And she was afraid he was going to find out about me. So she goes to HR and says, oh, he's harassing me. She worked up at CT. X-ray or CT department. I'm trying to think. Because her Her aunt worked there. Her aunt was a nurse. What was the floor? 1B? The one that was off the cafeteria? Was it 1B? Her aunt worked back there. And when I found out, I cornered her aunt and said, "You better straighten this little bitch out. I'm about to lose my goddamn job." And she told me, well, her and her husband were getting separated, and then all of a sudden they made back up. But in the meantime, she was hanging all over me like a goddamn cheap hooker. Then to tell my supervisor, "Oh, we're going to get engaged." And then he's like, "I never heard that." That's how brutal things are today. In HR, you're guilty until proven innocent. Matter of fact, it was right before evening rush. I got pulled off the register. Go down to HR. They want to see you. I go down to HR. Leave the building. I said, "What?" "Yeah, we're going to have a hearing in 7 days. Write up a statement." She had to write up a statement. Finally, she admitted she made the shit up. And then they didn't fire her. That's what really pissed me off. Make a claim like that against me and not get fired or reprimanded? Nope. Yeah, everybody wondered where I disappeared to. I was like... And then they had... What the hell was that goddamn asshole security guard? Had him escort me off the premises. Of all assholes. Oh, yeah. It's brutal, Kathy, dealing with, big corporations in HR. I mean, I had to fight to get my week's worth of pay. But then I said, "She pulled this shit and you're not going to do nothing?" Nope. And I couldn't talk to nobody. I couldn't call anybody, none of my co-workers. It was like, until we have a hearing, this is hush hush. And then I find out 6 months later she got divorced. But when her and her husband split up, oh, she was hanging on me like a goddamn cheap hooker. And then to tell my boss, "We're getting engaged," I was like, "What? What?" Then he denied it. "I never heard that." No. I said to him, "It's pretty strange. It was her and me and you. There was nobody else in the cafeteria at the time." I don't remember her ever saying that. Of course, him and I never got along, so he was hoping that it was the end of me. And then I'll tell you what, after I won that goddamn case, oh, he was a bastard towards me. I finally ended up quitting. I couldn't take it anymore. Because it wasn't like I could go to HR and say, hey, he's picking on me. Oh, no questions asked. She went and made a report. I was immediately escorted off the property. Oh, Kathy, he was the biggest ass kisser. I always made this statement. He had his nose so far up the supervisor's ass, when the supervisor farted, it came out of his ass. So I was basically screwed. He rode my ass daily, and I couldn't say, if I went to the supervisor, oh, you're making that up. So I didn't even bother. I started looking for another job. When I found another job, it was no. I went out on disability. That's how I left the hospital, and really pissed them off. Yeah. I filed for disability. I went a year without any money. Well, I worked under the table, and then my Social Security disability came through, and I was good to go. Oh, Kathy, you don't know how much I wanted to sabotage the shit out of his car. I would have poured sand in the oil and sugar in the gas tank. His Audi A4. But there were cameras everywhere in the parking garage. If I thought I could have got away with that, I'd put a bomb under the seat. Oh, he was an asshole. But to outright deny that he heard her say what she said when it was only the three of us? Hey, Linda. You missed a good story. You'll have to watch today's show tomorrow. I just got through telling my HR story when I got accused of harassment. I got escorted immediately off the hospital property by the biggest asshole security guard in the place. But then I won. That's okay. Just watch tomorrow, if you got time. You'll hear my Sears story when I had my first part-time job and I had Mrs. Hitler for a supervisor who beat me off the head with a shoe and then almost ripped my ear off. Yeah, she thought I was arguing with a customer. She pulled down a box of shoes, took one out, and whipped it half from the other side of the department, got me right off the back of the head. Customers were ducking. Then she come up, grabbed me by the ear, and dragged me into the back room. But back in the 60s, you could get away with that shit. You know, we were just talking about HR, you know. How HR, you know, they're the gods of any company. Yeah, I got accused of harassment and immediately got sent home until my hearing 7 days later, when the little bitch recanted her story. And then I demanded my week's worth of pay that they owed me. No problem, Linda. You never have to explain. Like I say, you popped in, you popped back out. Hey, we knew everything was all right. Now, see, I'm starting to worry about Jenny again. I wish somebody was close to her that evidently she's dealing with some pretty heavy shit. Well, my supervisor was related to Adolf, because that's the way she treated everybody. She could have run a concentration camp. But from 12 to 15 feet away, she threw a goddamn shoe, hit me right in the back of the head, and then dragged me out of the department and never talked to the customer. He was hard of hearing. She thought I was arguing with him because her was like, the customer is always right. You never argue with a customer. I raised my voice because he couldn't hear. Oh, she didn't believe that shit. Never talked to the customer either. Pulled a box of shoes down off the shelf, took one out. Oh! Then dragged me out of the apartment by my ear. For about 2 weeks, one ear was bigger than the other until the swelling went back down. But see, back in the day, they could get away with that shit. Not today. God. A supervisor even looks cross-eyed at an employee they're suing. You know, I kept explaining to her. He couldn't hear. Oh, no, you argue. He couldn't hear. Don't tell me that. Okay. And she sent me home. I lost half a day's pay. Then the next day I had to fucking apologize to the bitch. I'm sorry, Mrs. Adolf. Oh, God forbid I'd have said that to her. I'd have been dead. They'd have found me in the dumpster. Oh, she was a bitch. Everybody was afraid of her. Everybody. Including a lot of the grown male employees. She patrolled that goddamn shoe department like a Gestapo guard. But when that shoe hit me on the back of the head, customers ducked. I turned around to see where it came from. There she was standing there with a shoebox. One shoe in the box. She just took it. Whew, ow! And it was a hard leather shoe, too. It was no goddamn tennis shoe. Oh, man, did I have an egg on my head. Egg on my head and an ear that was about out to here. And you couldn't complain. Management was on her side. But oh yeah, she beat that in everybody's head. The customer always right. Never argue. Okay. I was waiting for it one day to come in with a goddamn German Shepherd. Of all the departments that I had to work in, tell her the good news, Kathy. Linda wants to know the good news. My goddamn pain medication's wearing off, for Christ's sake. Me and my pain management doctor are going to have a long chat. This ain't working already. And we're only 2 weeks in. Right now it feels like somebody's got a giant clamp and they're twisting it on my shoulder blades. Good news. Good news. Not to mention she's going back to school. She got the okay to go back to school, too. I had to give some of it away, Kathy. Sorry. Hearing the good news made me so happy. I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought. I got on Miss Gestapo there. Boy, I forgot what I was going to talk about. You know, you tell kids these stories today, and they think you're making this shit up. Oh, no, that never happened. You're making up stories. No. It's true real life from the 50s and 60s. Before the invention of HR. before multi-million-dollar lawsuits against employers. Hang on a minute. Somebody's at that goddamn. I gotta put a billboard up with flashing lights. Do not disturb between 7 and 9. Damn it. Oop, now you got wires all tangled up. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, hang on. Jesus Christ. We just finished cutting the lawn down the street. We see your lawn is very tall. Do you want your lawn cut? No! My asshole neighbor across the street will gladly come over and cut it because he's probably tired of looking at it. Yeah, I have free lawn service. Now, all well and good. My front lawn is a little tall. And I can't convince my neighbor. It's a different type of grass than he has. If you cut it short, it looks brown. So I let it grow a little bit longer, and I raise my lawnmower up. He sits in his living room. Now, he's single. His girlfriend smartened up and left the asshole, so he has nothing better to do. He looks across the street at my yard. And then he has the nerve to come over and tell me, I'm tired of looking at your lawn. Then he brings his lawnmower over. Thank you. Saves on wear and tear on my mower. I don't have to bust my ass cutting my lawn. Yeah, these two kids. We just finished doing lawn. No, the asshole across the street any day now will be cutting it. Thank you. Yeah, isn't that good news, Linda? Especially considering she's only 11 years old. Oh, you know, he's a retired detective. I don't know how anybody could work with him. He is an asshole for one, super OCD for two. You ought to see him trim his front shrubs. He walks out to the sidewalk. It takes him 8 hours to trim 2 shrubs. Yeah, he walks out to the sidewalk, kneels down. No, I admit, the shrubs are gorgeous. So I can see him sitting in his living room, looking across the street going, Jesus Christ, Grumpy's fucking lawn. I'm going to have to get over there and cut it. Okay. Works for me. I have lawn care service, and it don't cost me a dime. Although the lawn does get cut a little shorter than I like, but hey, who am I to argue with a free lawn care service? Yeah, has the nerve to come over and tell me, I don't like the look of your lawn. Well, what are you going to do about it? I'll be right over with my mower. Thank you. And they think I'm nuts around here? Oy, 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 oy. Oy, shamoy. Yeah. You want your lawn cut? No. I have a lawn care service. Well, we could probably do it cheaper. Can't do it cheaper than free. No, we can't. And by the way, can't you read the fucking sign on the door? We didn't see it. It's on bright lime green paper. You didn't see it? In order to ring the doorbell, you had to have your hand next to it. Oh, Linda, this guy. He is a trip. In the fall, he vacuums his lawn. And then he'll finish, not to mention vacuums the street. He'll sit on his porch and wait for a leaf to fall. Yeah, vacuums his lawn. You know what I do? I blow my leaves over towards his direction. Because I know he's going to vacuum the street. So I get a... Then he comes out and goes, where the hell did all these leaves come from? The wind must have been blowing perfect. He has no hobbies. Just drives everybody in the neighborhood crazy. Matter of fact, the guy next door to him said, don't cut my lawn anymore. I'll cut it myself. Because he thinks everybody's lawn should be as short as his. Well, I don't care. It's your brand new lawnmower. Knock yourself out. Yeah, he was a detective in the Auto Theft Bureau. God forbid he'd have been in homicide. Holy Christ, he'd have been a homicide. I to this day, I don't know how the hell he got promoted to detective. I'm sure his partners wanted to have an accident. You would think with him being retired, he must get a good pension from the city. Because, and there's been times where he's cut his lawn 3 times in 7 days. That's how bored he is. But to watch him trim his shrubs, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to set up a GoPro so that he don't see it and film him. Video him cutting his shrubs. You would think that he was like some Hollywood producer. And walk up with the trimmer. Everybody laughs their ass off when he trims his shrubs. You'd think that he was doing a Venus de Milo, carving a statue out of a shrub. Takes him all day. All day. And he starts like at 8 o'clock in the morning. And like I say, around here they think I'm the crazy one. Yeah, I figure if it don't rain either tomorrow or Wednesday, you'll be over cutting the grass. Make me happy. Maybe he'll surprise me tomorrow. When I leave to go to my shrink appointment, I'll come home and my lawn will be all cut. I have half a notion to ask him, when are you going to edge it? He cuts it, he don't edge it. Damn it. He edges his. I'll tell you, I swear that he has a ruler and he measures every blade of grass and has little tweezers. Eek. Eek. Everything has to be just so. Now, I have to admit, the shrubs are gorgeous when he gets done. But they're shrubs. I can't get that through his head. They're shrubs. They're not going to be in a museum of art. They're shrubs. What did I miss? Shiz is here again? Holy shit. I'm not seeing her in the chat. Everybody else is seeing her except me. How you doing? I have a costume for Halloween. I'm ready. I've got my costume. I can't wait. It won't be anything like Scotto's, believe me. But I have a costume. I can't wait. Just to get everybody's impression. We can see you now. I don't know why in the beginning we couldn't, but we see you now. How you doing? I liked your last stream. Not the one you did what, last week and a half ago. I like all your music. You do a hell of a job with all them songs. Talk about having a great mind for that. I'm doing all right. I tell everybody I'm going to see my shrink tomorrow. I have a special T-shirt I'm wearing tomorrow. It says I don't need anger management. I just need people to stop pissing me off. I can't wait to see the look on his face. I was going to wear the one that says, "It's Mr. Asshole to you," but I figure I'll slowly ease into the insulting T-shirts. When I get done with my shrink appointment, my shrink makes an appointment. So are you going down to, you got your travel arrangements all made? That'll be a wonderful day. I can't wait to see how he gets sentenced, especially with the stupid move that he made. Of course, he wasn't expecting the enhancement. Well, I've got one that says, the more people I meet, the more I understand serial killers. I'm going to hold off on that one for a while. We're going to have, monthly sessions, so I'm going to slowly. I ordered a shitload of T-shirts off of Temu. They had them all on clearance. So I figured for $5 a shirt, go crazy. Hey, look who's here. It's the Metcalf. All right. Boy, everybody popping in tonight. Yeah, that should be a worldwide televised event. Too bad you can't have cameras inside the courtroom. A lot of people would love to see that one. Just to get the look on his face when the judge finally says, "And sentence to be pronounced. Will the defendant please rise?" He'll be all gone. Oh my God, look who's here. How you doing, Nomad? Haven't seen you in a while. You finally getting back to normal? The overtime finally slowing down? It's got to be around midnight, isn't it? Midnight, 1 in the morning. Good seeing you, buddy. We gained 2 subscribers. We're at 87 now. Hope to get to that 100 before the end of the year. Man, everybody popping in tonight. A good crowd tonight. Yeah, well, between the time change and the overtime that he's been working, we've been missing him. But can't fault somebody when the overtime comes in. You got to make that money. Although I don't know what it's like over in England. I know you work overtime in America and goddamn taxes eat it up. You'll have to watch the show tomorrow, Nomad. I had a couple of good stories I told tonight. Like when I got my first part-time job I had a Gestapo lady for a supervisor who threw a frickin' shoe across the room and beamed me off the head with it because she thought I was arguing with a customer. And then when I got accused of harassment, when HR immediately threw me out of the building. Two interesting stories. Yeah, good old HR. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. Had me escorted right off the property by the biggest asshole security guard we had. Then he was surprised to see I got hired back. Yeah, the little bitch recanted her story and didn't get reprimanded for it. Goes down to HR and says, oh, he's harassing me. And they didn't do a thing to her. Boot me out of the building. Her, nothing. But it's all water over the dam. Makes for some interesting stories to tell. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Phoenix. I'm glad the word's getting around. Although we're a big chat session here. I used to start out with a topic. Now it's a big chat session. Yeah, it makes it more fun. I tell everybody it's like everybody sitting around the kitchen table having a cup of coffee. We had some spammers in here, some trollers in here the other night, Nomad. Kathy took care of me. She blocked them. And they come in here and they, like two idiots. I kept trying to ignore them and they kept trying to, like poking the bear. Finally, I told them, get the hell out of here. Then they were gone and I was like, oh, good. Only to find out that Kathy saved me. She blocked the assholes. Kathy had my back. Although everybody has my back. Although we're getting worried about Jenny again. Jenny's dealing with some pretty heavyweight problems. She's making us nervous. She popped in about a week ago to say, yeah, I'm here, okay, I still got some problems, and then she vanishes and she makes us all nervous. Yeah, right, Linda, we're our own therapy session. Cheaper than going to a shrink. Although luckily my hospitalization covers it. No copay. That's even better. Well, last drink of coffee. And Jenny's one of our originals, Mrs. Metcalf. Jenny and Kathy, and then Linda. Although Nomad's the original. Unfortunately, he's been doing that thing called work. Not to mention, what is it, midnight, 1 o'clock over there right now? I know it's late. I've been watching a lot of British programs on YouTube. I've been binge watching Killer in My Village. I love that program. And the forensics. Boy, I'll tell you, 2 a.m., holy shit. I really appreciate you being in here tonight. 2 a.m., goddamn. I didn't realize it was that late. Wow. Thanks for popping in, buddy. I really appreciate it. Well, that's greatly appreciated. And one day we might get to 100 subscribers. We'll have a party. Everybody's popping in and it's getting about sign-off time. Oh, man. If it wasn't dinner time, I'd keep going. But I appreciate everybody popping in. Boy, you made my evening. Good seeing you, Joey. I'm glad everybody popped in. I wish I could go longer. But I have a starving cat to feed, not to mention a starving Grumpy. Well, everybody made my night. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really do. I appreciate it. Everybody made my night. Well, at least everybody popped in to say hi. That really. I really it just really made my night. Really did. It's greatly appreciated. And sharing the link, I appreciate that too. Grumpy's Therapy. We have a therapy channel here. And we had some good news tonight from Kathy. That's always great. Yes, you're right, Joey. It's always, I always close the show out with a smile. It's just wonderful to see people pop in, and it's greatly appreciated. It really is. It really is. It makes it worth it for me. Because for the longest time I was doing this stream talking to myself every night. For like 2.5 years. No, I lost my stylus again. Damn it. Now the tablet's acting up. Come on. Jeez. There we go. It's that time. Oh, we know where, right here. WDWL TV. Thanks everybody for coming in. Been a wonderful night. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we'll see you tomorrow.